Hello, you beautiful nerds. Welcome to the Drunk Banthas podcast, where we talk about sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and all the popular art that we love. Also, we do it drunk. Always encouraged, but never mandatory. Mostly drunk. Thank you, Jeff. Always encouraged, but never mandatory. I am Jedi Master Grayson, and I am joined, as always, most of the time, by my co-host, Brother Bill. He'll be joining us in just a little bit. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties, but let's introduce our other constant panel member. He is practically family, but y'all just hate him because he's light-skinned. Remy LeBeau, what is going on?
Not much. Just coming off a 3.5 day bachelor party and struggling to have a voice. It's a fun time to be alive.
It sounds like, yeah, you're living life to the fullest, which
live life, no regrets. That's what I say.
We got Bill.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. Not yet.
No, sure not.
Still figuring some technical difficulties out. But yeah, dude, just definitely happy to have you on.
Well, thank you.
If you guys are reading the description of the video, you might be a little confused because we were supposed to have a friend of the show, Black Gay Comic Book Geek, on to talk about some X-Men 97, but unfortunately,
that's not me.
Yeah, as you can tell, that is not Remy. He is very much not black. Or is he light skinned? Who's to say?
That's the lightest of the light skin.
But yeah, since we're not going to be talking about that today, we are going to definitely be talking Dark Matter episode 4 later, and as always, we're going to be talking shit. But I just want to let you guys know, make sure to check out the Bantha Bunch every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time with your favorite cousin's favorite cousin, Bill. He's also your favorite host's favorite host. I'm not sure if you do that. He might not be your favorite host, but he is your favorite host's favorite host. He's like, you know what? I like that Bill guy. He's pretty good. He's probably my favorite.
Blake's a big fan of his. Yeah, that's true.
But let's start off our conversation today with Furiosa Mad Max Saga. We're not going to get into it too much today. I am working on a video review that I'm going to be putting out within the next week or so. So you guys can look out for that. But Jeff, I know you haven't watched the movie yet. Are you interested at all? Because it seems like the most of America is not, like, the box office is not reflecting someone like the anticipation that you would expect from Fury Road continuation.
So I don't know what's going on with the box office lately. One of the guys that I watch like almost daily had a piece today where he was asking, like, hey, you know, Hollywood's asking, is the movie theater dead after Fall Guy last week and after was Fall Guy last week or the week before?
It was a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
And Furiosa now. And I don't know. I don't get it, because here's the thing. I haven't seen either, but they're two of the movies I want to see the most. And the only reason I didn't see either was Fall Guy. I was back home for my dad's birthday. And like I said, I was doing a bachelor party this weekend. Otherwise, I would have done Furiosa. That being said, Fall Guy's on streaming. I'm going to see it in theaters tomorrow because I want to see this movie on a big screen that badly. It looks fun. It looks hilarious. I have a feeling it's going to quickly become one of my favorites. And I think the same can be said for Furiosa, just based on the caliber of actors in it, the amount that I know they put into the effects. Yeah, everything about it just seems really fun to me. So I'm excited to go see it, and I think people are just fucking haters.
That might be true, and it's weird the climate of the box office right now, because I also saw I saw Fall Guy in the theaters, and I was very surprised that it didn't like rock the box office, because their marketing campaign was crazy. Like the views on their trailers have been super high. They have two of the most charismatic white people in America right now.
After Jeff, agree.
with Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling, like, those are two actors that, like, all I had to see is their name on the marquee, and I'm just like, take all my money, I will go see that film. So it's kind of crazy that these guys aren't like actually, I mean, that these movies aren't blowing at the box office. Fifth Banthas said in the chat, Garfield was not a great movie. Surprise, surprise. Yeah,
I have heard the same. I've heard kids will like it, they won't love
it. Yeah, I've been trying to see I'm trying to get to 100 movies this year in the theaters. But there are movies like If and Garfield where I'm just like, no, thank you.
So that's the interesting thing. I think If does look interesting.
Do you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
My God, it's like
look
a dream sequence.
I'm back in here. I'm in here.
Bill is in the building.
What's happening?
Yeah, we're just doing a little chat about box office. So, we're talking about how the Fall Guy and Furiosa are failing at the box office. Do you have any idea why these movies that seem like a smash hit on paper are just not are underperforming?
Yeah, we talked about it a lot this year on the Bantha Bunch, and we've talked about it some on this show. People are broke, man. People don't want to, bad movies have been coming out for the entire age of movies. As long as the movie has existed, one has been bad. So,
that is true.
So I just think that people are trying to connect dots where there is nothing to be connected to except for the fact that people are literally struggling every single day to make a dime to make ends meet. So I don't think that it has anything to do with the quality of the movie. It's just that people would rather, in an age where I can just wait for the shit to bomb and come out in 3 weeks, I can just go on YouTube. So it's that type of that element right there makes it to where I don't have to. And also you can watch bootleg movies for those who don't want to even pay for a streaming service to watch. Get it bootleg.
I will say that while bad movies have been coming out for all time, I do think it's important to point out that neither Drunk Banthas nor Nerds at Night have ever put out a bad movie. And I think that's really exceptional.
That is true. We have put out 0 bad movies. We're batting 100. 1,000, whatever. Sports. It is kind of crazy because and also bad movies come out all the time, but I mean, and this is just my opinion, obviously, but Fall Guy was Fall Guy is a good movie. Furiosa is a good movie. I'm surprised that these movies are underperforming so much. It's even I don't know, with the Fall Guy, it's more surprising just because again, there's so much star power around it. The marketing is really funny. My mom knew about Fall Guy and she was like, "Oh, I'm definitely gonna go see it," but she didn't. It's kind of weird.
I don't want to speak ill of your mama, but she a liar.
Yes, she also said she was gonna go see The Flash just because Batman went in, and she didn't go see that either.
Well, she made a good call there. But yeah, Furiosa. I mean, Furiosa. Not just good marketing, it's to the point where this is the first time they've gotten Chris Hemsworth on Hot Ones. He's done so much stuff since that show's been out, and this is the movie he goes on the Hot Ones for, and it's still bombed box office wise. I'm not willing to say it bombed. I don't know. It's weird.
Say it's a terrible movie.
Yeah, when you say something bombed, it's well, it's I don't know, the original Super Mario Brothers movie. All right, it shouldn't have done good. Which, by the way, I actually think it did pretty good in the box office.
I think it did.
Right, but if it's just that it did bad in the box office, but it's a great movie, I really am reticent to say it bombed.
Yeah, like movies like Fight Club, obviously, that's another film that underperformed at the box office, but is considered a classic film, one of the best.
Boondock Saints.
Yeah, Boondock Saints. Yeah, another film.
Didn't get made till 10 years later or something like that.
Right. Yeah, and I'm glad that you actually mentioned
that. Could have waited longer.
You're welcome, Alex. I'll throw you a softball.
I'm glad that you brought that up because some of the scuttlebutt has been that Furiosa maybe underperformed at the box office because it took too long in between Fury Road and this film? Do you think that the latency between the two movies is like affecting people like wanting to go out in theaters?
I think it's the stupidity between the two movies. Like, I don't think there's a reason to have made this movie, honestly. So I think, a lot of people are looking at it like, well, if you're going to do another one, why not? Even if it's a prequel, where's my Charlize Theron?
Mm-hmm. Right. I heard the same.
Yeah.
And I get that.
Go with her because they wanted to not have to de-age, and they were concerned about that. But go with the star.
Have you seen her skin? She hasn't aged. You're fine.
Exactly. A star is a star, and if you're going to replace Charlize Theron with somebody, you can't replace it with someone who's not well known.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I will say that Anya Taylor-Joy is like one of those rising stars. She's popping up in a lot of stuff lately. And I do think that they did a good job with the casting, not necessarily like the one-to-one with Charlize Theron in the movie, but they also had they had a younger actress playing young Furiosa, is like 9-10 years old, and she looks exactly like Anya Taylor-Joy. So like it's the way that they were, and she's in the movie for like the first act of the film. Like she's in the movie a lot. So like the transition between her and Anya Taylor-Joy just felt very seamless, where it's just like, oh, this just feels like this is a slightly older version of this. And not to spoil anything in the film, but it ties well into what the events of Fury Road. So it seems like that's a nice progression of things. And more power to George Miller to be like, I think I watched an interview with him too, where he's talking about like de-aging. Like when you watch de-aging in movies, now you just notice the de-aging. You're not really focused on the performance. I feel like it's more distracting than it is helpful. So I respect that decision. But also I'm down to have Charlize Theron be in every movie of all time because she's great.
Also, I disagree with him. I feel like if the de-aging's done right, then it's just a seamless part of the. Yeah, you focus on it, but you focus on it more in a wonderment way, which brings more attention to your movie and makes your movie more impactful. Like, shit.
Indiana Jones.
I was going to point out the de-aging of Sam Jack and the first Captain Marvel. I actually thought it was done really well. I thought it was actually really very smooth, and like to a point where like for a while I was like, is it just like really good makeup? Like what are they doing here?
Right. Yeah, that might be the best de-aging I've seen in a movie.
Right. Like, and then you get the Mandalorian's Mark Hamill, where it was so bad that a guy went back and fixed it on his own, and the Star Wars studio was like, we need to hire him. Bring him on board. Right. But that's just it. If you do it right, it can absolutely work.
It may look like I'm not paying attention. I was trying to my charger's not working. I think it got fried out. The box may have gotten fried out for this charger.
Oh shit.
Went from the big explosion of 2024.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
The one heard around the world.
Yeah, right now, Jeff. I don't know if you know this. That's what they're calling it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what you know. What? Oh, that's what all my twatters are saying. Yeah.
So all my twatters.
I will say, because Bill, you did mention that this film does sort of seem superfluous, which I can get that being a common thought, because this is this is a brand new character from this Mad Max movie. It's kind of weird that we have a prequel for her, but I did think that it had a great connection to Fury Road. Like I rewatched Fury Road today. I was like, oh, this makes the stakes of Fury Road for Furiosa's character specifically more interesting, because she's such a new character, and she's talking about all these things that she did in her past, and I was like, oh man, that seems sad. But actually seeing those things happen is pretty cool. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, hey, Miss T, how's it going?
Hey, Miss T, thanks for showing up.
Welcome to the band, the bunch. Excuse me, that's my show.
And I've also heard some complaints about the what you call it, the CGI in the film. about how it's just not quite as impressive as the
Did
first film.
Did it look like that? Was it ugly like that?
You know what? Well, for me, like CGI doesn't bother me that much. There was some spotty CGI for sure in the movie, and they definitely did a better job in Fury Road of just like having the CGI enhance the practicality of everything. But some of the stuff in the movie, I was just like, there's no way you could have done this and have people stay alive if you did this with real people. So
well, clearly you didn't see a little movie called Fall Guy. I don't know if you know a lot about stuntmen.
And that's another thing that
I
wanted to bring up.
Or you didn't watch 1979's Mad Max.
Right. I am. The fact that anyone survived that set. They should have had this thing at the end. No animals were harmed, but 3 humans are dead.
Yeah.
They put a real military grade rocket on the back of a car and just like shot it down the road.
Mm-hmm. You know what we call that? Good cinema.
Yes, it was great. It was great. No stuntmen were injured in the making of this movie because everyone was an actor playing. We just threw it all over the fucking place. We talked about that with Jenny Ayumi. She was like Umbo. She was like basically telling us about somebody losing their arm and nobody gives a shit. And people don't give a shit about stunt guys. So why not just throw them out there, Alex? CGI is taking jobs away from stunt guys.
Well, yeah. So there's a question.
Performers. I'm rooting for stunt. Save the stunt performers.
Well, so I think that brings up a good question for you, for the group and everyone listening. Okay, so Danny Trejo's famously quoted as saying like he will not do his own stunts because he's like, no, what I'm like, if I get injured, this entire thing gets shut down for months if we're lucky. That means all these people, all these regular 9-to-5ers who aren't making the Danny Trejo money, they're out of a fucking job. Yeah. So that's why, so the question is, okay, what's better, the Danny Trejo way where he's like, no, I'm just not going to do it, or the Tom Cruise, which is, no, I'm going to do all of it, but I'm going to train to make myself ready to do it.
Right.
One of those is worse than the other. Huh.
Yeah. How do you feel about it, Bill? I got a take on this, but
go ahead. I'm thinking about it right now.
Well, I think that there's a happy medium, or like both sides have their benefits. You know, obviously, like you want an actor to be super dedicated to their role, so they're going to want to learn a lot of things about their character, and also it benefits, just filmmaking. The audience it has a certain next level of immersion when they can see, oh, that's definitely Ryan Gosling hanging off the side of that car driving down like
God, spoilers.
It's in the trailer. But it's definitely more engaging. We can see that that's definitely the actor doing that, and not just around over the shoulder stunt guy. But at the same time, there's you got to respect that Danny Trejo has so much respect for their craft and for everybody else's job. Is like there's a certain responsibility that comes with taking this role. There's a reason they took an insurance claim out on me when I joined this movie. Is like everything falls to shit if I can't do this thing. So yeah, I definitely respect his sense a little bit more. And I think like nowadays, like there's a happy medium where there's enough safety protocols in place where we can get enough stunt work and get a lot of work from the actors, like the Fall Guy movie that nobody watched.
No, you're right. And I'll say this. I also think Danny Trejo's got one of the funniest quotes on earth when talking about this. He goes, man, I'm just supposed to be or not to be in the barrio. Like, that's all I'm supposed to be doing. He understands his audience, and I love him so much for it.
Yeah, you gotta know your movie persona. That's an underrated skill in Hollywood.
Underrated indeed.
What about you, Bill? Do you think it's better to have like the Tom Cruises of the world, or the Danny Trejos of the world, or the medium of the Ryan Goslings of the world?
You need the mediums. And I think you're giving Ryan Gosling a little bit more credit than he deserves.
Just because he's the most recent in this movie.
I don't know that I think you're probably getting fooled on certain situations where you think it's Ryan, and it's probably not. I mean, I have to watch it. I got it saved on the bootleg. Terry, I don't know if you saw the, I don't know if you saw the chat, but we said we were going to do this early on Monday because we were supposed to have Black Gay Comic Book Geek join us because it's too late at 8 in New York City.
Hey, that rhymes.
It is going to be my new show. Too late at 8.
Too late at 8. Yeah. Oh man, that shit rolls right off the tongue.
Fuck the Banthas show. This is fucking.
Oh, I like the idea of coming up with a brand new show just because the name's too good to not use.
Yeah, right. We'll figure out what the show's about later.
But no, I think I don't think I know. I agree with both of you guys about that. Because for me personally, yeah, when I find out an actor is doing their own stunts, I don't know why, but I love it so much more. It makes me more engaged in the film. But at the same time, like, so I think Tom Cruise is actually a perfect example because in one of my favorite movies, and yeah, I know I'm white. So he learned sword fighting in this so much. They had to let out the arms of every single one of his coats because his forearms got so big because he actually did learn Japanese sword fighting. And interestingly enough, the Japanese language, like he really dedicated to it. But then again, I mean, in one of the Mission Impossibles, he does a stunt where he jumps from one roof to another, breaks his foot, and they had to cancel filming for, I think it was 2 months.
Yeah.
And then the next one, he's like, well, I'm going to drive a motorcycle off a bridge or off a ramp and then skydive. And it's like, that's too far.
Yeah. A bridge too far.
Yeah.
Rim shot.
Yeah. I mean, when you ask me, I mean, yeah, it's like you need a happy medium, but I mean, honestly, the truth is,
don't matter.
Well, I want to ask you a follow-up question to that because something that I've heard about
follow-up question to
don't matter.
Well, to
the
with a lot of complaints I've heard about Fall Guy and Furiosa as far as the CGI goes is that like you'll see a scene and it's like, oh man, there's a lot of CGI in this, and then you'll see the behind the scenes, and I was like, oh no, I guess like 80% of that was practical. They just put some sort of like CGI sheen over it to make it look less real. It's kind of like the same thing with the Spider-Man costume in the Marvel movies. He's in a real costume, but in the movies, it just looks like a CGI avatar, even though because they put some sort of CGI sheen on it. Do you guys feel like that's like something that's taking away from film?
CGI sheen sounds like something you put in your hair before you go to church.
I was going to say, it sounds like Emilio Estevez's forgotten third brother. wasn't pretty enough to be on camera, so.
Yeah. I think they do have a. No.
Are you thinking of Hemsworth?
No. Because Charlie Sheen, it's Charlie Sheen,
Martin Sheen, Charlie Sheen, Estevez.
Charlie
right?
Sheen is really good friends with Robert Downey Jr.'s little brother or older brother. One of them. They all went to high school.
I think older brother, because Rob Lowe was in that group too, and Charlie Sheen was older than Rob Lowe.
Yeah. So
like he was like the little brother running around like, let me play.
All of this makes so much sense.
Alex, you gotta read these.
The Fifth Banthas says in the chat, nobody questions his devotion, just his sanity. Ophelia said in the chat, every time Tom gets cast in a movie, his doctors just go, well, looks like we're about to get more work this quarter.
Yeah, that's basically what happened.
Right.
And priests be on standby.
The intergalactic overlords that brought Xenu to our planet, they're ready for it all. We're good.
I got a theory that Tom Cruise is trying to commit suicide and by way of acting.
Of spectacular.
And then he's just like, if I die, that'll be the most amazing thing for me, and because I'll finally stop living this terrible life that I lead. If I don't die, I'll be rich than a motherfucker. It's like there's nothing to hold him back, man.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like we were talking about movie personas and like actors recognizing their movie persona and locking in on that. Like Mark Wahlberg definitely, like, it's no surprise. it's no coincidence that after that Andy Samberg like sketch came out of Mark Wahlberg, like his next 5 movies were like that specific character, and they also like all made a bunch of money at the box office. Like he just zoned in what he knew that his audience was expecting from him. And Tom did the same thing, but it's much more dangerous for him. Remy, do you feel like this is he's pretty much just gonna be doing this until he dies, like Bill said?
I mean, he literally wants to film in outer space. I don't know if you guys know this. It's not the most widely known fact. He's not an astronaut. Man, the second I saw you taking that inhale, I was like, this might not be the right time for the punchline, but I can't hold it.
He might not be. He's not an astronaut. He might be an alien.
That's true. That's true. But, I mean, it's just.
I have heard that he's not an astronaut.
The issue is no one's telling him no, and no one can tell him no.
Nope. He's like if Michael Jackson was an actor. I mean, you can't tell him any goddamn thing. I tried to tell him, but nobody didn't listen to me.
No, Michael, you can't own your own giraffe. Michael, no, we're not zoned for a Ferris wheel. No, Michael, you probably shouldn't date him.
So, Mike, Michael Jackson famously, well, no, maybe not famously, maybe no one knows this, but he brought in a llama when him and Freddie Mercury were about to make an album. Mm-hmm. Brought in a llama, and Freddie Mercury was like, okay, this is weird. I'm a weird dude. I'm cool with damn near everything that's gone on since I've been here. But goddamn, this motherfucker brought in a llama. I've been waiting for him for 45 minutes. He's late. He brought in a llama. This is fucking crazy. I mean, and yeah, he walked up out of there.
I mean, actually, Michael was on time. It was really the llama's fault. The llama was the one who was late. So
if it wasn't for this llama, I would have made it through that year in college.
Rib shot. Mike said he's really gonna find moonwalk.
No, he said he's really finna moonwalk.
Oh, sorry.
Tom Cruise.
Finna moonwalk.
And the next, that's how he's going to close out. What if literally the only part in space of the next Mission Impossible is just him doing a literal moonwalk with no reference? There's nothing about the moon in the movie. He's just like, all right, I think this will be a fun way to end it.
It's just such a shitty idea because space is so like unpredictable and uncontrollable. Why are you trying to do this? Well,
that's the spectacle. I mean, they're also trying to do Star Wars literally filmed in space, and I heard a Fast movie in space.
But it doesn't make it look better. It just it's going to make it look worse, and it's going to be harder to do. Just do it in CGI. Gravity looks great.
But everyone's going to be every single person's going to go to that movie.
Yeah, well, maybe. Because as we've seen this year, like we had 2 movies that like seem like slam dunks, but are not doing well. And Imch never said in the chat he couldn't handle the pressure of performing in front of llama. That's a response.
This is the best one.
So
this is a comment of the night.
Groove. Nice.
I'm sorry, you've thrown off the Emperor's groove.
10 comedy points to Athelius.
Great movie. Did you hear what the president or the CEO of Netflix said in response to all this?
No, what he said.
He goes, and I'm not making this up. He goes, of course, size doesn't matter. Because he's like, there's no movie that's so big you need to see it on the big screen. My son is in film school and he just watched Lawrence of Arabia on his phone. That's literally his argument.
I mean, he's not wrong, but that's also depressing.
Let me ask you a question. How would you have felt if you had only seen Dune 2 on your TV?
I had only seen Dune 1 on my TV.
Same here, and that was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that.
Well, I didn't have choice, so
yeah, same. But I did see Dune in the theaters this year, and it was amazing. And all my FOMO was released. But it's kind of one of those things. Where it's like it's sad but true because yes, his son can just watch Lawrence of Arabia on his phone, but he also doesn't know what he doesn't know. Like he doesn't know how great the experience
Johnny
is
doesn't know.
of seeing it in the theater. Johnny doesn't know. They should write a song about it. And Ophelia said in the chat, I saw Dune at HBO. Didn't bother me, to be honest. Dune 1.
So
yeah,
same here.
It didn't really bother me. I mean, but because my TV is pretty big, so
I'll say this though, but again, Dune 2, I was so just kind of underwhelmed by that I didn't want to see, or I'm sorry, Dune 1 was I was so underwhelmed by I didn't want to see Dune 2. And I am convinced that a part of why I loved it so much was because I got to see it in a theater. Not just that I get that full screen with all of that coming at me, but that sound coming at me, rattling my seat and really like bringing me onto Arrakis. It made a difference in my opinion.
Welcome to Arrakis.
I do want to say I think it's pretty hilarious, at least to me in my own personal life, that my three favorite movies that I've seen this year, or three of my favorite movies that I've seen this year, is a Mad Max movie, a Dune movie, and Fall Guy, which has a parody movie that's a mixture of Dune and Mad Max.
That's the film they're filming in the film.
Yeah, it's like totally Dune and Mad Max. Like Max.
This is how you know.
That makes me even happier.
This is how you know writers talk across studio platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was perfect.
This is insane. So Terry said, I was on shrooms for Dune 1 in theater.
That sounds like a terrible decision.
I also happen to know for a fact that he was doing it on a 40X. So,
oh man,
that
was Dune 1 on a 40X. I thought Dune 2 was his 40X.
Yeah, no. Well, oh yeah, that's right. Dune 2 was his 40X.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he saw Dune 1 in 40X or not. Right, actually.
Banthas said that. I bet that was fun. We have different experiences with mushrooms, my friend. I would like to be at home watching that. The thing said, desert walking is just bee walking, but not like us in the background. It's the same effect. Oh man, there has to be a YouTube video out there with They Not Like Us.
I mean, come on. There's no way with everything Dune parodied.
There's graduations with they not like us already. Motherfuckers is playing it like at USC graduation and shit. Motherfuckers walking to they not like us. They not like us. Motherfuckers is you know what? Fuck Kendrick Lamar and fuck that goddamn song because he is fucking no longer not blocking fucking songs.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Because YouTube blocked the shit out of that song on my last video. And I'm still fighting. I'm going to appeal at you fucking cocksucking mother.
That's so lame.
That
he famously said he wasn't going to block anybody for that song.
I'm wondering if that was one of those, like, the algorithm caught it and blocked you. Not so much. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I mean, I've used
he was the hero I needed.
Yeah, I've used it for like the last 3-4 weeks with no problems.
I see dead people.
That's all you get. That's all you get now. That's all of the fucking clip I can play now.
Okay, I got a question for the group. So what movies are you excited to see in theaters? Like, so before we hopped on, we were talking about I'm still excited for Fall Guy. I'm going to see it tomorrow in theaters, actually.
Right.
So I mean, like, that's one for me. What about you guys?
Sorry
to put you on the spot. I can tell more of mine if you'd like.
No, I mean, I'm going to go see Deadpool. I have no.
Yeah, that's the big one.
I haven't had any feelings about it, and I haven't watched anything about it really intentionally. Like, there's there's the inevitable that you're going to run into some things, like the unavoidable.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched a trailer. I haven't done anything like that. Kind of watched a little bit of Ryan Reynolds talking about the movie, but I wouldn't say excited about watching any of these new ones coming out because there's a low bar to jump over, and a lot of people ain't even managing to do that right now. So I'm gonna be patient and wait. Oh, hold on, see, Alex, you gotta let me know when that happens because then I gotta go.
I came in through the fire escape like bruh man.
Came cascading down.
Just came to get a sandwich. What's up, producer T? Welcome back.
Nothing, just chilling, trying to podcast.
What up, Ricky Mata? What up, Ricky Mata? Shout out to Ricky Mata in the chat. Shout out to Banthas. Shout out to Othelius. And shout out to me because I'm in the chat too. So let's get it in, y'all.
So you're saying, Bill, you're saying Wolverine and Deadpool. That's like the one you're most anticipating this year, right?
Yeah, I mean, for obvious reasons, I'm hype off the X-Men that we just had. I'm more hype for TV. TV's been kicking movies in the dick lately, especially this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We got The Boys and House of Dragon coming up. Like, it's gonna be exciting.
It's gonna be good.
For sure. What about you, producer T? Do you got any like movies that you're looking forward to this year? Have you seen Furiosa in the theaters?
No, I haven't seen Furiosa yet. I kind of want to see In a Violent Nature. I'm not sure if that's already out yet. It might be.
In a Violent Nature.
It's not looking like it is yet, but I think it comes out tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
Or I'm sorry, it comes out Thursday. Early access is tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we saw a trailer for the like me and Bill saw a trailer for this the other day, and we were just like, I don't know if this is gonna be good.
I'm still gonna see it.
I'm definitely gonna see it.
Yeah, a lot of horror gets like, a big draw to it.
Yeah, this one I'm excited for.
It looks crazy.
So it's funny.
Nature.
We got like 3 horror movies coming out this summer. I'm excited for In a Violent Nature. I don't know how I'm going to feel about The Watchers, and I'm not excited for The Strangers.
The Watchers. Yeah, I was like, wait, they're two. Or like, oh, they're two separate things. The Watchers and The Strangers.
Yeah, it's weird that both of these movies are coming out.
You know what's coming out next year just got greenlit. It's The Watchers and The Strangers. That's what it's called.
Oh, that makes sense.
The Watchers and The Strangers is going to be like the
crossover we never knew we needed.
Yeah. Coming out next year. They filmed it already.
We probably do have another Strangers next year because the entire point of this one was a new trilogy, which I don't.
Anyone see Strangers? No one saw it.
I've seen the first 2. I haven't seen this one yet.
This one. Anybody?
I don't know if I'm gonna.
In the chat seen it? I don't know. I feel like it's good to make a franchise off of somebody's very tragic situation that nobody truly knows what happened.
But no, we do know what really happened. Do you want to know?
What's that?
Dude was home alone. His parents weren't there. Someone knocked on the door. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's the true story it's based off of. He got freaked out because someone knocked on his door for like 2 minutes when he was home alone in one night.
Look at this. See what I'm saying? We need serious off of that.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Pull up this comment, Alex. Pull up that shit.
Well, let's go.
No, the one that just.
Oh, the most recent one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fifth Banthas said they do reveal too much in trailers. I just heard Ryan Reynolds saying that it's not going to be able to meet expectations and was parroting it back. That's a response to his comment earlier where he says, I don't know if Deadpool can meet expectations.
We already talked about his where he said, well, anyway, check it out. This is what I was talking about the other day. Alex did a video on this. Go look at why trailers suck. Go look the why trailers suck video on the Drunk Banthas channel because, well, don't do it now, stupid. Hey, stop it.
I'm back. Damned voice.
Yeah, those movies trailers. I mean, well, most movie trailers, especially for ones that everybody knows, everybody's gonna see. You really don't even need a trailer for Deadpool, right? Like, tell me what day is coming out. I'm good. I'll be there. But you're gonna release 3-4 trailers that make it where
show everything in the damn movie.
Exactly. And then the Deadpool 2 showed the actual ending of the movie. So it's like, no, I'm fucking good. I've learned my lesson with Deadpool trailers.
So my biggest God trailers fucking suck was the movie Us. I was like, oh, it's a Jordan Peele movie. I don't got worried too much about the trailer. So I watched them all. It wouldn't have mattered if I only watched the first one. They show the big twist in it. And don't get me wrong, like I was pissed for a while. I was directing in the wrong direction. I obviously should be more pissed at the studio because Peele, he's not deciding what's in the trailer. That's completely the studio, you know?
Yeah, to a degree, yeah. Depends on I mean, it depends on the situation. But they can chop it up so many different ways, like, and then it goes to a studio house out. It's usually external from where they like. It's a complicated thing. Trailers. I saw it get made. I saw like trailers get made one time at this post house that I like interviewed at, or whatever. And yeah, man, that shit's pretty intense. And they got to get it out in your voice, my voice. You got to get it out in like, so it seems like seconds, but you got to be fast as fuck. Get that shit out before the end of the day. And that's y'all who have done editing for videos on this channel and others, that it is fucking hard to get a whole video edited, even if it's going to be a 4-minute trailer, 3-minute trailer, 1 minute trailer. Like, it's really hard. It's probably harder trying to figure out how to get this 1 minute in with 10 minutes of files and information.
I wish they never had that lawsuit saying that they can't show fake things in the trailers. I loved that.
I don't like that. I think that there's more creative ways of withholding the plot from the audience than blatantly lying to them and telling them that there's going to be this thing in the movie, but it's not.
It depends, because they did it with Hulk in Avengers, like when they showed the Hulk and everybody else running together, and that didn't happen. I liked it, because when you see that, you think, well, they just fucking ruined the movie for me now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So I mean, but people who go to movies just because they think somebody's in it, you don't really like movies. You just like following people. You cheap.
Yeah. Yeah. The trailers can be really terrible. Like I saw speaking of Furiosa, I saw the trailer for Furiosa on accident before Dune when I saw Dune 2, and I was like, like I usually just like close my eyes and look down, but like I like whenever the trailers are going on, but I was like, this sounds raw as fuck. Let me just look up see what's going on, and it was just like the trailer is like pretty magnificent, but they also kind of ruined the ending of that movie in the trailer. I'm not gonna,
but it's also a prequel, so it's like you should know the ending. She eventually works for what's his face.
Well, you know how that character is gonna like go forward in the next installment, but you don't know how the arc of this movie is gonna end. You know what I mean? Like, there's one character in this movie, you see their last line of the movie, and it's just like, that's really fucked up that they put it in the trailer. Like, I don't know, I'd rather see that in the movie for the first time than see it like on my phone for the first time. Into Never said, what is the name of the new Star Wars TV show? Anybody in the chat gonna watch that? Acolytes.
Yep. And yeah, I'm probably gonna watch it. I think I'm gonna watch that.
When does that come out?
Acolytes. We're gonna be covering it over here.
That's
we're definitely gonna be doing that for sure.
What do you guys think about? Okay, also, how fucking I think this one's really stupid when they're like, oh my god, Thursday, July 23rd, the teaser trailer for The Acolyte. It's like, I don't need release dates for my trailers.
For sure, yeah. I think that's so stupid.
That's really silly,
right? No, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of. I hate it.
It'll just give me it's just gonna tell me when I don't need to be watching fucking YouTube that day.
Right.
Fucking stay off of social media that day.
Bruh.
But let's so yeah, I guess we're all like, I saw Furiosa. I really enjoyed it. It seems like the rest of you guys are probably gonna watch it eventually.
I mean, I'm gonna be seeing it in theaters.
What'd you say, T?
I said I'll catch it on Max.
You're waiting for the free treat. And Bill, you said you didn't feel like this movie was really necessary, right? So you're probably gonna skip on this one.
I'm gonna watch it on the bootleg. I got the bootleg video. I got the bootleg website.
It's not that I don't want to see it on a big screen. It's I don't want to pay all the extra things that are going to go with a big screen. Like I'm very particular about going to movies. Got to have my snacks. I got to have my drinks.
Yeah.
Most of the time I go to the Alamo Draft House, so that's a whole meal right there. So it's like, this just isn't a movie I want to spend all the extra money on. I'll wait for it to come out on one of the damn streaming services that I pay for already.
I feel that. It's really hard to go to the theater and not buy at least a bucket of popcorn. But guys, let us know in the comments how you guys felt about Furiosa. Sorry, I completely forgot what we were talking about for a second there. I was like, is it
and Fall Guy?
No, not X-Men. Yeah, and Fallout Guy. If you've heard that band.
Stupid, it's Fall Down Boy.
There's a poll out right now on the chat. We'll get to it in the next hour. Do movie trailers suck? Yes or no? Go ahead and leave a vote if you're in the chat.
How many times can I vote?
I
have a very passionate opinion.
So yeah, go ahead and get it up in the chat. What's up? What's you about to say, Alex? What was you about to say?
Well, I was just about to say.
Does it? Oh.
We're gonna move on to our next subject of the night. We're going to be talking about Dark Matter, episode 4.
That's weird. Did you just do a thing?
Oh yeah, I did a Dark Matter click sound.
You're looking at a different universe, Alex, right now.
Right. Whoa, I'm all over the place right now. I think something happened. This is crazy. Oh, I'm good though. I feel good now that I know where I am at points of time in this show and in this podcast.
Yeah, this episode was pretty crazy. Like the show's been pretty insane altogether. Jeff, since I know that you have not watched this episode, what did you think of it?
I've watched a half of it.
Oh, you watched? Okay, so you watched a little bit.
Yeah, I got halfway through it before I remembered. Oh, we're going early, so. Stop watching and go do your job, stupid. But no, it was interesting. It brought up some questions for me, but also I loved seeing like, all right, we're getting a bit more action happen, and it's not even like crazy action, but just like, you know, that part where they're in nuclear holocaust Chicago is like, okay, we're getting some things are happening now. It's not just like, oh, here's a boring guy, and then like, oh, here's the guy a little differently boring.
Yeah, what did you think, Bill? How did you feel about this episode?
This episode was upsetting. I hate when certain shit like happens in movies, like in TV shows. I don't really see it happen in movies that much, but like we're in a unknown, infinite world of of possibilities when you open these doors. This is like classic sci-fi shit, right? You just open up a door and you don't know what the fuck universe you're gonna be in, type shit. Well,
right.
Like, what part of that mindset or that scenario makes sense to like go into open up one random one and just take off through that bitch when it's fucking freezing as fuck, the snow is everywhere. You just go take off through the door and so if she'd have did that when she took off, what's her name? Amanda.
Amanda, yeah.
Amanda. When Amanda took off, went through that door, I'm like, yo, bump Amanda. This is easier if I'm anyway. Like I don't need her in here thinking. She's thinking all the wrong things, as we find out. Jeff, I don't know if you got
you can spoil things. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, as we find out, this place is basically the drive, the tools to drive the steering wheel is you.
Yeah,
you are the steering wheel. You make thoughts, and then that happens, which is extremely dangerous. Like, just keep this bitch out there in the Arctic. But she revived. She redeemed herself. Because she was able to find the fucking shit after she almost fucking froze to death and almost got him froze to death and lost the box. So they find the box again. I was just I wasn't mad at the episode, but I am weary that this is going to be what they do week to week instead of like the monster of the week. It's the universe of the week,
right?
You know, and I feel like we just did that, so please don't just keep doing that.
Yeah, I could see that being the case, and because the show does slow down a lot in this episode. There were some things that it felt like it took a little bit too long for them to
get to.
For them to get to. Yeah, because like to your point, like let's just go ahead and dive into the beginning of this episode, because it starts out with
hold on.
the aftermath of.
Hold on, you can put it in the private chat while I say this real quick.
Okay.
In the timestamp, but just want to say shout out to everybody watching on Twitter. Shout out to everybody watching on Drunk Banthas and on Nerds at Night. We appreciate y'all. Just leave us subscribe, a like, hit the bell so you don't miss us. Like today, we went a little early. You know what I'm saying? So if you weren't expecting that, then, you know, if you hit that bell, you'd have got that notice. So, yeah. What else was I going to say? I don't know. That's it. That's all.
That is all.
But yeah, so what you guys were saying about just like picking random ass doors, it just reminded me of that episode of the Venture Brothers where the monarch basically just hires a hooker and she's running around and like, what's behind this door? Is it safety and a way out? Or is it a polar bear? Like,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What are you doing? Why are you opening those doors?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite episodes.
There's a possibility of a polar bear being behind the door. I'm just going to wait to use the bathroom when I get home.
I mean, he says it's infinite. There's a door with a polar bear.
Exactly. So just be careful. Don't go. I'm not hanging out.
By the way, also means like there's a door where there's like a polar bear right when you open it. There's a door with a polar bear 4 feet back. There's a door with a polar bear. Like there's all polar bear door possibilities.
There's a verse where a polar bear is inside out and eating people. Like,
yeah,
not even the weirdest one.
If only that's what they thought of. But yeah, in this at the beginning of this episode, we do have Jason and Amanda try a bunch of different doors that lead to a bunch of different realities, most of them uninhabitable. And we see that at some point, Jason does explain the science of the box and says that basically the reason that the corridor shows up as a corridor is because it's a way for your mind to comprehend the concept of just like this infinite reality. It's like your mind is constructing this corridor. And as soon as they said that, I just was like, oh, so your mind has to influence what doors you're going through. Right. And I'm surprised that it took so long for the main characters to come to that realization after that. Like I'm like, that should have been the next thing.
Well, I mean, first things first, she's got a doctorate and he creates all reality breaking science. I don't know why you think they're smart.
I didn't get that. I don't know where you were going with
that. But also like, my immediate thought was, his old boss is chasing him through or trying to chase him through there. And my thought is, you just told us it's not actually a corridor. It's just our mind's interpretation. So then no one's corridor can be the same, can it? Because it's your mind, it's my mind, it's their mind. It's
this mind is our mind. This
right.
Your mind. This from the mind of I don't know.
Because like, all right, say there's just we'll say it's just old DC universe style. There's only 52 multiverses. Okay. But if the corridor is your mind interpreting those 52, then my mind's interpreting another 52. The possibility of us entering the same one is 1 in whatever 52 times 52 is.
Unless I know where you wanted to go, and I can just think, well, take me to where Remy LeBeau wanted to go.
So that's an interesting one because it gets even more down to it. Like, well, what if like what I think I want to go to is home or safety, and you're thinking, you're trying to think of the same universe, but you're thinking of it a different way. So then obviously you go somewhere else too.
No, I would just think you got to simplify it, right? You got to get it to the lowest common denominator. I just want to go where you went. I don't want to go anywhere except where you went. So I'm just gonna think about you. Where did you go? I want to go where you went.
Yeah.
And but then would you go through all of the wrong doors I went through too?
If you went through the wrong doors, I guess I would go through them, but you wouldn't have gone through those because then you'd either be dead or because if you went through like or I would go through. No, I would just go to where you ended up. I guess that's where if you're no longer in the box, I would go to where you exited the box.
Interesting.
Well, yeah, and let's actually talk about the other timeline for a little bit.
This is just crazy because you're like,
yeah,
Schrodinger's cat.
Well, it's mixing philosophy with science at that point.
Exactly, because then I'm like, how do I know that you were in the box if therefore the box
right?
How do I even know to go where you wanted to go, and how would you know where you wanted to go? Because at first you have to be cognizantly dissident and like fucking all out of it. So it's like, but one thing before I'm gonna throw it to you, Alex, as well. One thing left on that matter is they should have probably picked it up a little bit sooner too, because Jason A decided was told by Jason B like, hey, just keep that thought, just whatever you wanted to be, all the things that you wanted to be in life, hold on to that thought. So that's how he was able to get to the one that he was at.
Right. I'll give him a little bit of a pass just because he was special drugged.
He was special.
So maybe he was having trouble holding on to that memory, you know? I'm sorry. Maybe now he's having trouble holding on to the memory of then, not when he took the drug. He was having trouble holding on to the idea of Lotto World.
Right.
Yeah.
And like let's move over to the other universe because we do get a little bit more explanation about just how he traverses through universes.
Prime universe or box universe?
Oh, I'm talking about Dick Jason. He's going to talk to Gay Layton or Gayton. He shows him the box, convincing him to strike a deal. And what do you guys think that the deal is? Because, like, first of all,
Jason, did you call him? Wait a minute, I'm lost.
Dick Jason. We called him that last time.
Yeah,
I didn't remember that.
Yeah, he's a dick, and also it sounds like
because he's a combination of the first two Robins because he's so daring.
Can we call him Jason Todd?
It's like some weird like but no so yeah, he goes to Gayton and shows him the box, convincing him to strike a deal after showing him the implication what you call it, the use of the box. Now, what do you guys think that the deal is specifically? Because he asks him what would you give for something like this, and Layton says literally everything. But do you think that that's what he's literally going to give him, or do you think that this is actual like sort of a sponsorship, like he says to Daniela, or do you think he's just going to give him his whole entire empire and go to another universe where his family's still alive? Remy, I'll let you go first.
So, I mean, that last one that you said is the one that makes the most sense, and just not even story wise. Well, I guess it is technically story-wise, like narrative-wise, the way people write things, that's the one that makes the most sense. The entire point of this is he doesn't give a shit about his money. It's that he wants his family back. So I think that's it. But I think that the interesting implication then becomes it's the Scarlet Witch of it all. Well, you can have it, but you got to kill the one that's there, you know?
Yeah.
And you guys constantly coming up with good songs titles.
The Scarlet Witch of it all.
Scarlet Witch of it all. I swear to God, that's just fucking amazing. I don't know. Continue. I'm sorry.
I mean, that was any of my thoughts, so that works.
That was my shitty contribution.
Well, no, how do you feel about like the that whole situation?
Can you repeat the question?
Oh well, yeah. So, I actually forgot what I was talking about. Yeah. So, Jason goes to Layton, and he, Layton well, they make a deal. Do you think that Layton is giving his whole empire over to Jason so he can spend time in another universe?
He's trying to create the same universe that he had before. He's just trying to like make himself comfortable, like. But I think that that's gonna blow up in his face somehow, because his universe ain't supposed. This universe isn't supposed to be that way, right?
Mhm.
Right.
So that just tells me he's gonna put some bill. It's like using a charger for your phone that's supposed to be for something else. You know what I'm saying? Like it might get a charge, but it also might blow up the back of your phone. Like your shit will get so hot it melts through your couch and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's moving things around a little bit too much, man. You can't do that in universes. We know that. We know you can't change things in universes. That's why the TVA exists. We need the TVA to get back involved. This is ridiculous. Right. Where is Owen Wilson?
Well, then I've got a movie for you. It's coming out this summer.
What's that?
Oh, Deadpool and Wolverine. I haven't seen the trailer, so I yeah, sorry. But I do want to ask. I do want to ask you guys how you feel about well, sorry, I guess more Bill. How he feels about Gay Layton, also known as Gayton. At least
you don't have any problems with gay people.
That was not going to be my question, but it's good to know.
He watches Queer as Fuck.
Yeah.
I personally, because we talked about on the last episode how much we weren't really feeling this character or this actor in this character, but I'm digging Gayton so much. Like I feel like he's so much more natural in this character where he's not trying to feel like this menacing character where he's just like a chill dude who's just enjoying being a trust fund baby. How do you feel about his performance as this version of Layton Bill?
I feel like he's capable of playing a nigga, but not capable of playing a regular ass black man. You know what I mean? Like that's how he learned. Apparently, he learned in acting school to be like, "Hey man, let me just tell you something. You know what I'm talking about, dog? You know." He ain't learned how to talk like I'm talking right now without sounding Nigerian, nigga. This nigga Nigerian. Out the first day, I was like, this motherfucker right here sound like he Nigerian. And bam.
And didn't he come over like later in life as well?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's like Nigerian, not like Nigerian by blood, like I say.
Yeah, so he's born in 88. He didn't move to America till 03. So
yeah, that's all kind of thick accent. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to scrub that off, man. So
yeah, this is the first time I've seen this actor in anything. Yeah.
To me, it's just always stupid because he could just have a Nigerian accent. You know what I mean? Right. There's nothing that would mess this storyline up if his accent was Nigerian.
He even says that his grandfather is Nigerian in like I think in the first episode, because the
second episode or the third maybe. But yes, he did say that, and I was thinking, well, why didn't they just let this nigga be my Nigerian?
They come up with a storyline where he's actually royalty and just trying to give his money away, but no one will accept it online.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, but I don't know if he wasn't gay before. Speaking of gay,
that's true.
Point.
That's true.
I think that may have been like Dick Jason Todd. He was acting like he kind of knew that was how he was sexually preferred men, but it looked like he was like shocked by like how he was like all open like
right,
butt booty naked white boys walking around, and he got food out. He just got like big ass table of food, just picking up.
Yeah, just out
cheese, grabbing. You want some chips? Well, you got some turkey down there. You want some turkey?
It's like, no, I don't want no room temperature cheese, sir.
Room temperature cheese, and there's some turkey down there too. Well, hand me the turkey. You don't want no turkey. I want some turkey.
So all this ham has sweat on it. I don't want none of this.
Real fast. These niggas ain't seen each other in 15 years at least. It's 17 years at least, and they just talking like shit. He's just like, hey man, you know what I'm talking about? Like, hey, this is my white boy right there. Don't mind him. It's all good. You want something to drink?
Yeah, like it's funny because I thought that he came over.
I was just saying, and then Jason Todd offers to do drugs with this motherfucker, and then that's when he's like, "Sure, let's go."
Yeah. I mean, how do you bond with friends you haven't seen in 15 years?
That's just crazy to me. That's just crazy. So yeah,
it is an interesting character thing with I'm gonna say Gaten just so we know the differences between the different Laytons. But one of the things about Gaten, I was like when Dick Jason showed up, Jason Todd, and he was like, I thought they kind of showed up uninvited, and that's why there was a naked dude on the couch. But then like they through the dialogue, you realize that they like texted each other and he knew he was coming over. It's like, well, why didn't you prepare for company, man?
Oh yeah, no, he texted
just like that much.
It's called Art, you Philistine.
He called early in the morning and he was like, oh, you can come through, but it's like that over here. And also I think it was kind of a flex, it's like a billionaire power move type shit. Like,
I can see that.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
I'm over here butt naked with, like, you basically got sex slaves and prostitutes walking around like in your as far as you know what I'm saying, as far as the person who's getting there knows, like, it's a flex. It's a big flex,
right?
When you come out with your silk pajamas like everybody else naked, but you got pajamas on.
It's like how I feel about be around a nigga that's real. Yeah, it's like,
how I feel.
Yeah.
But speaking of Leighton, we do get well, actually, before we get into Leighton in the last
say hi, Lil Frothy, and I just want to point out that everybody was saying that they were gonna watch Alkalite, or a few people said it. I shouldn't say everybody. There's 18 of you not talking, so get the fuck to talking, goddammit, on Twitter.
Just tell us, what do you feel about gay naked men as decoration? Come on.
Yeah, yay or nay?
Although I guess technically the naked man could have been straight.
There was a naked man who lived in a naked house.
It should be a gay person in the
all right, chill out, Mr. Sinister.
Gay roles should go to gay actors. That's all I'm saying. Just like
I back that, as long as we also back Black American roles go to Black Americans.
I'm
down for that.
Sorry, Idris.
Because I hate
Idris.
Because now I call them the King's Negroes now. I had to change it.
Is Idris still allowed to voice Knuckles then?
That's different. That's an animated character. That's because I don't know, because he's not American, is he? Is Knuckles American? No, he's an echidna. I don't know how.
I haven't yet to see his birth certificate and/or passport. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if he is an American. He was smuggled in.
Well, does he have a British? Does Knuckles have a British accent in the movie? I haven't seen any of the.
In the movie, he just sounds like Idris Elba, but in the games, he just sounds like a bruiser.
Okay, I mean, I'm for them changing the. Yeah, if you want to change that character to a British character, that's cool. But don't be having these niggas in here trying to pretend to be American when it's clearly just a really bad American accent.
Put it in the chat. Should Knuckles and Sonic just have never talked? Should they just have never talked, and that would have been better? Or now, do you like it that they talk, or do you not give a fuck?
I prefer them when they don't talk personally. Yeah.
No,
let's know the comments.
Talk, though.
Agreed.
I feel like Sonic needs to talk.
I feel like Sonic needs to talk. I don't like that Knuckles or
talk so much.
Yeah, talk so much. I like Knuckles being the strong silent type. And Tails can also shut
perfect movie.
It don't matter. None of this matters.
For it. But yeah, I think so what y'all calling them? Gay Lord
Glayton.
Gayton, yeah.
Yeah, Gayton.
Sorry.
Gayton. I don't know which one I'm gonna figure out, but yeah, he takes some drugs that Jason Todd, whatever, y'all got me fucked up.
It's too many nicknames.
He goes down there with Jason Todd, and Jason Todd gives him some drugs, gives him the same thing that he gave regular Jason,
right?
And regular Jason, gay Jason takes him to see his parents and his grandfather.
Right.
No, takes him to see his grandfather, I guess. Which one was not dead?
Yeah, because in this
version, he
version,
went to go see his grandfather because in this version of history, his parents didn't die, but his grandfather died.
Right. So his parents are running Velocity.
Right. So
yeah,
he is trying to convince this dude to take another universe over. This is like if all of like for Rick and Morty fans, this is like if Rick decided he was just gonna live some other Rick's life after killing him or after just removing him from his world and putting him into some other universe.
Isn't that kind of what he did though?
No, his died. His died, so he took over his life. He didn't kill him. He didn't remove him. Which, because I'm pretty sure there's some time situation, like some paradoxal type shit that you're not supposed to have done that. Like you have to wait for somebody to die, or like Rick did, But I don't know how they plan on getting around that or explaining that. But these people are fucked up. Is what I'm getting at. What I'm getting. How are you just gonna take another man's life?
And it does seem like it's fun.
Like kill him, but take his life.
And it does. I'm glad that you brought up Rick and Morty, because it does seem like Rick and Morty kind of brought the multiverse into the zeitgeist. Like pre Rick and Morty, I didn't see so many like movies and television shows that were trying to like explore the multiverse, because I feel like they made it so digestible to where audiences can understand it, and it became so popular that I feel like there were just like a lot of people who were like, oh, we can tell a different story about this, or adapt an older novel about the same subject, and people maybe you're in the mood to understand it now because it's in the zeitgeist. Do you guys feel that's true?
It don't matter.
I'm trying to think of what was really popular before Rick and Morty, and the one thing that comes to my mind, I don't think it was as popular, but I would say Jet Li's The One. Is what comes to my mind when I think of like who was doing the multiverse first. But it didn't get too popular after that. I mean, it was a good movie. I thought it did well. I wish it would have made another one. But it didn't like make everybody else start doing multiverses soon after. There was like a big lull. So I'm trying to think like what else could have had like multiverse. I feel like there was like a couple little mini sci-fi shows or something, but nothing too popular.
I mean, no, I was going to say, so I literally just Googled multiverse movies. And I mean, even the ones that are from before it, like one of the ones is Last Action Hero. I wouldn't say that's a multiversal movie. I'd say that's going into a movie. Like,
that's like a metaverse movie. Yeah.
And there's only, it's just not the same.
Yeah. And even
Sliders.
Oh, yeah. Sliders. Yeah.
Sliders was like the very first, like, big going into universes that are slightly different from your own universe or like completely opposite of your own.
Yeah, and that's definitely that was a pretty good show. I still need to finish that. I only watched like 4 episodes of that.
And because there were a lot of books.
And even with like the like it's kind of like when a team wins the championship, and then like you see all the assistant coaches go off and get jobs at other teams. That kind of happened with Rick and Morty. Like there are so many writers and directors from Rick and Morty that would go off and get other writing jobs that would also be really, really good. Like, one of the writers from Rick and Morty famously went off to do Loki, which is another multiversal show.
Right.
And
a very multiversal show.
So it is kind of crazy how like multiverse is just like so in the zeitgeist, and people like I don't know if people are getting over.
I think that Hollywood is very tight knit, and they just gonna do what's making money,
right? Yeah, and it's kind of funny because it seems like the Marvel multiverse saga, or the multiverse saga, I guess that's what they're calling it right now, is the least well received of all the sagas.
Right.
Do you guys think that this is like do you think that we're going to get like a sort of a tempering down in the multiverse TV shows that are coming out, Bill? Or do you think that this is like we're still going to just get a lot of things just because this concept is still interesting?
Sorry, I was coughing.
Oh, speaking of which, I got weed over here.
Let me see here. No, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere because Marvel's got 5 movies on the docket that's got goddamn Universal itself up. So
yeah, Marvel's gonna kill the trend. It's just gonna beat it to where nobody cares anymore. It's my opinion.
The thing is, if you're into quantum physics and shit like that, then that shit has been getting more and more popular in the last 20 years anyway, because we're finding we're making advancements in science and technology that are allowing us to explore those possibilities a lot more. So I don't think it's really going anywhere, considering we're finding more things in reality that actually lead towards those these actual types of possibilities. So what you should ask yourself is, when do I get my goddamn super speed? That's when I need. When do we get these superpowers, man?
Just got to find the right multiverse. Duh.
Are we going to talk about X-Men? Are we going to talk about X-Men? Because we got to.
I would say as the next big trend, or maybe this is more a wishful hope thing, but I kind of want to see more stuff like 3-body problem become the next trendy thing.
Yeah, I agree.
I kind of like the whole advanced aliens coming to get us type trope.
Okay.
You got to prepare and get ready.
Well, one of the ways those two can coincide is with higher dimensions. Technically, higher dimensions, they're creatures that can move within all of the dimensions. We would consider them basically like ultra advanced aliens, and because they'd be able to move through those dimensions, it would seem like they're moving through different universes. So
so instead of maybe like focusing on the universe creatures, it would be like dimension type.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what this show is going to do moving forward with all that. I guess we should talk about the ending a little bit before we get into our X-Men talk. We do see we see straight Leighton, or sexually ambiguous Leighton.
We shouldn't think that he's not gay just because he's got a brown shirt on.
Yeah.
Brown jacket on, so this nigga's not gay.
It's a very straight jacket.
You got a rim shot. He's wearing black and brown together don't mean he's not gay. He's fashionably uncoordinated.
But we do see Leighton perilously trekking through the multiversal corridor, and the episode ends with him just like opening another door that seems to be a dead end. His ankle is broken. He's all beat the fuck up.
Toe up, flow up.
Polar bear.
Flow up.
I thought this was like kind of a. I thought we were gonna get a bit something more than like he's just stuck. I thought we were gonna get maybe some sort of reveal that he gets stuck, goes to an interesting universe. How did you feel about this ending with Leighton, Bill?
He's lucky. You're lucky. He's lucky. It didn't end with him dead. Finding out what we find out about how the directions work. Like, there was no manual, which is dumb. That's dumb.
Yeah, you should have them.
There should be something that comes with your little shot when you get your shot that tells you what to do. But it didn't happen. So yeah, I think the question is like, what door is he about to go through next? That's really what it comes down to for him.
Yeah.
But again, I think it was a waste of time sending him out into the blizzard and him have to take care of this crazy bitch and fucking, like, that was just dumb. So I think we could have spent a lot more time with this guy, Latham. But what would have, considering we went and talked to Latham, the other Latham. So I think that was a disservice. First bad episode.
Yeah, I think that the pacing really caught up with this episode, where they really had the opportunity to execute a lot of more interesting things, like you said, with Leighton and with Jason and Amanda. Like they could have all progressed their stories a little bit more if they just realized what was going on a little bit faster. But hopefully the next episode will be good. I'm still enjoying the show. Like, it's super, super nerdy scientific stuff. But yeah, like hopefully the series continues to pick up. But yeah, little guys, let us know in the comments how you felt about this last episode of Dark Matter. Let's move on to our X-Men 97 season recap conversation. Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, like you guys, if you're looking in the video description, unfortunately, Michael was not able to join us from Black A Comic Geek, but we're still gonna talk.
You could change that in the title.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now.
You just go to the edit and then change it. It'll change it for everything.
For everything, I was not thinking about that.
It's okay. I was thinking about it, and I can't do it on this end. Shout out to everybody watching on YouTube. Shout out to everybody watching on Twitter. We got a few. Can't see exactly how many people are watching, but there's a few people extra watching on Twitter. Thanks for joining us. This is the Drunk Banthas podcast. Go ahead and subscribe and like. We're going a little early today, but we do go live every Monday at 8 Pacific time, 8 p.m. Pacific time, and it's usually this crew right here, but others come to join as well. So you got it all figured out? Yeah, you got it fixed. So yeah, we were supposed to talk with Black Gay Comic Book Geek Michael about the series as a whole. Not like just because last week we didn't really get a chance to talk about the series as a whole as much because we were pressed for time. But I'll just throw it to Jeff first. Like actually, I'll throw it to producer T since he's been chilling here. Producer T, how do you feel about the overall series itself? Is there anything that stands out the most to you, or anything that stood out after you watched that you maybe didn't feel like you caught beforehand, or didn't hit you as hard the first time?
I've only watched it one way through, but it was pretty recently because I started when episode 8 came out, and I marathoned everything right during that to catch up. For me, what I noticed was a good change was they want to call it woke or whatever, but they definitely didn't try and hide their message of mutant racism.
Mutantism,
or I mean the oppression, the mutant oppression. Really, that was the word I was looking for. It was not hidden it really wasn't hidden that well. I mean, if you're fucking smart, but this time they were definitely more upfront with it. They kind of like went into like more aspects of what this oppression is actually doing, how more sides feel about it. Like, you kept hearing them almost, a lot of them kept repeating, maybe Magneto was right. And it was just like, right? Kind of like hammered in on
Magneto was right.
It kind of gave you like more doubts. Like while the other season was way more positive, I think, and like in the hopes of that humans and mutants could one day, come together. I think this season said, well, it might be possible, but damn sure it's going to be fucking hard and people are going to die. It's not going to be fun and it's not going to be pretty. Kind of like more realistic, because every other episode of the last series of X-Men, it was all happy rainbows. Everybody was getting together and the bad guys got what was coming to them. And this one, it's like, some of these bad guys weren't fucking wrong,
Yeah, this definitely gets a lot more emotionally sorry, that's
why you booing me? I'm right.
Yeah, this season definitely gets a lot more emotional. We talked about this a little bit about just how it gets a little bit more mature with themes. And they dig a little deeper because they understand that a lot of people who are returning to this this show are fans of the old series. Remy, how did you feel? Like, what were your just like initial thoughts on the whole series?
Oh, I haven't watched this show.
Yes.
No, I mean, obviously I loved it. One of the things, so I very much agree with producer T that I like that they were just like, no, this is a part of X-Men. It's going to be a part of the story. It's not like how do we slide this in? It's like, no, this is it. Shit's complicated and we're dealing with it. I also, on a personal geek moment or note, I like how they explored a lot of the characters' powers better. Big one right off the bat, Morph. Like, Morph was a badass in this. I didn't know that if he was changing into someone, he could imitate their physical powers too. So technically, when he becomes Wolverine, he's got adamantium, you know? So I mean, things like that's cool. I thought they did a good job of showing Rogue really going all out with her powers, and like, hey, no, she's not holding back. Things like that, I just really enjoyed.
Yeah. Like I recently, I didn't look into it until after watching this series. What Morph's powers are. It was like, can he just do whatever? But yeah, like you said, he only gains the physical attributes. Like he can change into Hulk, and he can be as strong as Hulk. But if he changes into Cyclops, he can't like shoot kinetic blast.
That's why like I was a little confused at first. It was the first or second episode when he starts flying when he's Archangel. I was like, I mean, if that's just like some flesh or something, I don't think he's gonna be flying too good.
Yeah,
but no, like he can.
Well, let's talk about Morph. The Morph it's not explained exactly like how his shit works, because
I just got it from the end credit. I got it from the end credits.
From the end credits.
Mm-hmm.
What you mean?
You remember when the end credits like select a guy and then they should read the powers off?
Oh yeah. Well, what I was saying is that if he can just do that, then why not turn into Apocalypse, my nigga? Like, this is ridiculous. Why do we all have to die so that you, Morph, don't have to use your powers? Clearly,
because a lot of Apocalypse stuff is like psychic based.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, people's powers. I don't know.
And I don't think it's like why, because it doesn't really explain this. Like, you're right. It kind of just tiptoes into it, but I don't think he's like 1 for 1 on their power scale when he turns into them.
Yeah, he's got to be less powerful than the people he turns into, regardless if he's able to use their powers.
Yeah, I'm sure that he's.
Why not just be Magneto? Magneto out there being Magneto, you be Magneto, and Magneto.
Because it's only the physical powers.
Yeah, so like, I guess
physical powers. Magneto don't got physical powers. Is that you wouldn't consider that?
That would be his.
I wouldn't consider magnetism to be a physical power. That seems like something that originates from like the mind.
Yeah, I think it's just like strength and durability that he gets.
Yeah.
But I still don't think that, even when he turns into the Hulk, I don't think he's as strong as the Hulk. And the fifth Bantha said in the comments, Morph is potentially one of the most powerful mutants. Again, yeah, like I don't think that he becomes fully 1-to-1 the same power level of whoever he turns into. Otherwise, yeah, I guess he would be pretty powerful.
Comment.
Oh yeah, and Ophelia said, Charles, Eric, you declared war on mankind.
But it's like they declared war on us first, bro. Like,
very aggressively.
You declared war on mankind.
We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us.
Yeah.
What would you have, Charles?
So, according to the Marvel fandom Wikipedia, power mimicry, Morph is able to duplicate some of the physical powers and abilities of beings he shapeshifts into, including superhuman strength, superhuman durability, flight, superhuman speed, and elasticity.
That's for the, you know what that's for. That's for that Wayne dangle. Sometimes you gotta hit type spaces. And sometimes from far away.
He be expanding his pussy. That's what he does.
You can expand it and you can make it tighter. He can do whatever he can do whatever he wants to do.
And it's funny. Like, let's talk about that for a little bit because people are always quick to yell way too woke or go woke go broke or whatever if you have like any kind of representation outside like straight male people or whatever.
Rhyming's pretty woke, I'm just gonna say.
Do you guys feel like this series went into like a too woke place? Because I don't feel like I've heard a lot of noise about it, although I haven't paid a lot of attention to that kind of stuff. But do you guys feel like this went too far and like as far as inclusiveness? Do you think it was pandering? Bill, I'll let you go.
I know I was gonna let T go. Go ahead, T.
No, because like I brought up earlier when I first watched this, the way they were just complaining about Morph, I literally thought this man, them, in every fucking episode was gonna be like, look at my boy, Buzzy, it's a girl, it's a boy, and just doing that every episode or some shit, and just like RuPauling it up to like the extent, like just out loud and proud and stuff like that. I thought that's what I was gonna see, and no, it didn't happen.
I'm just imagining the animation where you just see a bulge. You just see a bulge appearing and disappearing in his pants.
Yeah, like every episode that was gonna be happening. No, it didn't. So I don't see what they're talking about.
He's standing next to Cyclops. You see a bulge appear. Wolverine walks up. You see it get bigger.
Athelia said in the chat, so Morph is pretty much the Fantastic Four and one non-binary nigga. He's
two.
And did Morph even say that? Just like I thought every other sentence Morph would be like, and I'm non-binary. And I'm non-binary. How are you doing, Morph? Well, I'm feeling very non-binary right now.
The only reason we know to call him they or them is because Rogue, when she went with Magneto, she said, who else are we going to wait to die? She mentioned Morph, and she said that already happened to them once. So yeah, that's how we know that he's non-binary.
But I am
proper grammar, I guess, because you could still use that in the singular.
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess like
it's being singular, but that's the whole thing, right? Is that they're neither male nor female. I mean, look, we've dealt with this as a long time. I mean, people forget about hermaphrodites. Hermaphrodites are the people forgotten in this war of sexualities and gender battles. What about the hermaphrodites? Hermaphrodites has existed for hundreds of thousands of years.
That's not the intersex. That's the word. That's why you don't really hear about it. You don't refer to that condition as hermaphrodite anymore. It's intersex.
Well, I would say that
I didn't think about it. I was like, no, that's not the right word. That's not the right word. Hold on.
What do they say in the science book? Because it's a science book.
Intersex.
I will say
so that's why you don't like when people don't say Asperger's no more. That was the right term. It was named after the dude who found it. But he was a piece of shit. So
isn't it ASD now? Autism spectrum disorder?
Yeah.
Which the disorder part still seems a bit. But what are you gonna do?
I mean, it's better than calling it. You got Nazi disease. You got Nazi man disease.
I think that's just being a straight white guy.
Just because of his name, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, look it up. Look it up. Why I don't go?
You guys go look up who came up with Jupiter and all that shit. Just go see
the gods.
As far as genealogy, like for this character, like this mutant, like I guess it would be like very comparable to the boys character, where because they can morph into any kind of any person. Like gender is like in the most literal form fluid, like is for this character. But I was more talking about like the Invisible Woman aspect of it. Is the invisibility, is that considered a physical power?
No. Nope.
Okay, so he's 3 out of 4.
Because the 3 out of 4 with her, it's force fields. The invisibility is force fields.
Oh yeah. That's right. So he's 3 out of, or they're 3 out of.
Yeah, she's using cosmic power.
Fantastic.
She's using her cosmic power to do that.
Yeah.
So Morph is 3 out of 4.
2 out of 4.
But I'm sure you could turn it to someone.
Mr. Fantastic.
He can't turn himself on fire?
No, it's not a physical thing.
Yeah.
Fire is physical.
He could probably
fire is chemical.
No, isn't that like pyrokinesis is what the word they use? So that's kind of like a mental ability.
Well, pyrokinesis is what pyro does. What the Human Torch does is he becomes fire.
That's what I'm trying to think. What's the closest thing to Human Torch and X-Men? I was like, it's pyro, but then I was like, no, because he has pyrokinesis.
Oh yeah.
Guys, I think I might get my nerd PhD off of this conversation. Oh god!
I feel it's like this turned to an SAT prep class. I don't know.
right?
Yeah, I was told there'd be no math.
But no.
1 times 1 is 2, though. Y'all remember that?
Totally.
Got the Banthas show last Thursday. We did a show. It was good. Come on, go over there and check it out. Get mad ignorant over there. But yeah, this show definitely to me wasn't too woke. It could have been. I could see how somebody could say that it was too woke, but it just probably means they haven't experienced anything, But to me, the show was perfect. It hit those little things. I know there's some people out there who feel like it wasn't gay enough, if you can believe that. But to me, it was just the right amount. I think if you could say they were placating to a certain group of people because they didn't elaborate on certain things. Like if you're gonna make it seem like Charles and Magneto have this like ambiguously gay friendship, then just say it. You know what I mean? Like don't beat around the bush, if you know what I mean. So
that's what they would call them on their weekly camping trips.
Sorry, that was just.
I would say that they're pansexual.
Now, do you guys
about their sexuality? I'm talking about them being engaged in a relationship with each other that they seem to not be able to ever. They can't ever act on because of the sides that
Charles can't walk.
Well, yeah, he got that. What's her name? Got him to walk. Hello.
Hey.
He said, "I stand up." Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys think that they may like expound on that in the next season? Because we did get like some pretty like interesting bombs, like pretty much an admission from Cyclops that Wolverine and Jean and Cyclops are in a throuple from just like one simple line. Just one simple line, just acknowledging that Jean is in love with Wolverine. But do you think that we're gonna like expound on that sort of soap opera romantic relationship between Xavier and Magneto? Because I'm personally all for it, but
I don't think so because they gonna next season's gonna be about Wolverine Logan trying to find himself after losing his adamantium. It's gonna be about him.
Is he gonna go to Japan?
Maybe they did show what's his name a couple of times. What's the
Silver Samurai?
So yeah, he did. They did show him a few times in this show. So you might see that he might go to Russia because we did see Omega Red is released out. So
I feel like they're teasing him up for a villain showdown for an episode or two.
I think Wolverine. Yeah, he's gonna be. I think Wolverine's gonna be going back and forth or going through his rose gallery of.
Yeah, we'll probably get Sabretooth.
Oh, you think it's going to be something like people coming out of the woodworks like, maybe I can kill him now. He's don't got that metal on him.
Maybe a part of that, or when Wolverine, every time Wolverine left, he'd go on a little mental journey, and he would end up getting into a fucking fight or getting kidnapped or some shit like. So he's gonna go through this mental journey, and he'll end up being attacked by somebody, most likely one of the 3 people that we've already named. And might be
all of them. They all might come together.
Might be all of them. But that gets you, since we saw them split the stories up this year in certain episodes, we might get like 3-4 episodes of that, and some of it bringing them back together. Bringing X-Men back, Wolverine back into the fold with the X-Men.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have like the team's broken, and like, oh god, how do we come back from this? And it's gonna be kind of finding their way back to each other as a team,
Yeah.
I just remembered the whole time thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the team definitely went through a lot of trauma this season. I do want to shout out Othelius's comment here. It's not Logun anymore; it's Shogun. I definitely, I'm down for a Logun Shogun season next year.
What are those old school Japanese guitars called, where they got the giant handheld pick? I want someone to make that X-Men with that.
Oh, that would be great. I'm sure there's a YouTube
musicians in the comments. Come on.
Actually, let's talk about the music for a little bit, because the theme song, I'm so glad that they didn't change it. I've heard so many people say that they've never since Peacemaker have they watched a TV show and never skipped the intro before. I'm curious, you guys ever skip the intro while watching the show? Yeah.
Which one?
Do you really want to taste it?
Not once.
Oh yeah, I skipped that. Yeah, I skipped that.
Not a single time.
I like the song, but Jesus Christ, it's a long fucking intro.
It is a long intro, but it's so great.
Motherfuckers longer than the Game of Thrones intro.
Here's a fun fact. When they were rehearsing, Cena was doing something else. So the choreographer had her husband step in for him. And that was Alan Tudyk.
Oh, that's amazing.
How badly do you want to see that?
I really want to see it. Alan Tudyk, that's amazing.
Oh, you can't dance, John Cena. You can't dance. Sad son of a bitch.
It's so funny that nobody remembers John Cena's the wigger phase with the jean shorts and everything.
Oh God, right?
The internet never forgets. The internet is an elephant.
The Wire season 1. Othelia said the Wire season 1 intro theme is the shit. Yeah, see, that's the one that I ain't skipping.
Yeah.
Really, season I think it's season 3. It's the one where it's the season where they're in the school district.
Oh yeah, that's the last
season 3.
It's season 3. I thought that one with the women singing it was like the
Newspaper
best one.
is the last one.
Oh yeah, Newspaper is the last one.
Like season 3 version of it was like my favorite rendition.
Same. I think they kept it for 4 too.
I don't remember which ones were which. I just down in the hole. That's all I remember.
Another amazing opening. I would skip through it, but like sometimes it was good enough that I would still just rewatch it. Did you ever see Black Sails?
No, but I really wanted to watch that one because it's the pirate show, right? Yeah.
It is. It's a pirate show that you quickly find out is a prequel to Treasure Island. But the theme song is amazing. It's all these elaborate like pirate ships with like skeletons climbing up them and stuff, like coming up out of wax while playing an old like pirate age musical instrument called the hurdy-durdy.
The hurdy-durdy, best name for an instrument ever. Bill, I know you got to get out of here.
I just got to, but what were you about to ask me?
No, I just ask you, you have any final thoughts on X-Men before you have to hit the road?
I'll say this. I'll give you my final thoughts at the Bantha Bunch show on Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. That's Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. You come over here and hang out with your favorite cousin on Bantha Bunch show. It's a good time. You see characters like Producer T, Producer Penny, and Nine. And sometimes KirstYn too. So come on over and hang out with us. We're gonna get it in Nerds at Night, Drunk Banthas channel, and also Twitter, Drunk _ So yeah. I've got to go. In case y'all don't know, I got to go see this My Morning Jacket concert. So I'm calling it Uber right now. I'm about to head out. So I'll see y'all later. Mic drop.
Yes. Go my morning jacket all over the place. Have a good night, man. You guys have any final thoughts on X-Men before we wrap it up tonight? Remy?
Again, just like I said, I had a lot of fun with it. I think they did a lot of my favorite characters really well. Gambit, I mean, they killed him and they still they did not do him dirty, Nightcrawler, and then just Nightcrawler I always love, and sometimes you can really screw him up, but they didn't do it in this one. And I mean, that final fight scene where he's just porting in and out, I thought was great. And then again, like, I never gave a shit about Morph before. I was always like, we got Mystique, why do we need this guy? This is why we need this guy. He's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he was pretty rad. And actually, I guess I want to. That'll be another question I want to ask you guys. Who's like your favorite glow up of this season? Because we had a couple of characters like Jubilee and Bishop who get a little bit more shine. Forge. Is there like a character that you were like, oh man, I really like how much we got to see more of this character specifically? Producer T, do you have a favorite character that we got to see a little bit more than in the original series?
Because I never really liked him that much because I thought he was like, the popular pretty boy, but he didn't do too much in the series. But he you finally get to see his powers are actually kind of cool with Cyclops. When you see him fight now, it's just like, man, because you're always like, anybody can beat up Cyclops. Just stay away from that damn beam. It seems easy enough to dodge, right? No, Cyclops got them hands. He can do flips. He's a hard dude to kind of beat. And then just the way he could use his beams both offensively and defensively. Like, you've never seen him use it defensively to evade stuff and get out of the way. And the whole I'm just doing fucking free skydive and just
that was pretty rad.
Yeah, can do a lot, huh?
Yeah, they definitely use his powers in some really creative ways in this season. Yeah, and I've always been a Cyclops apologist too. I feel like he's like Captain America, where under the right writer he can be dope, under the wrong writer he can be really corny and Boy Scouty. And I liked how they did him in this season. What about you, Remy?
I'm gonna stick with Morph. I think they just did him great. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think he was made for the original series. He wasn't even in the comics before that. But
that's right. He's a Harley Quinn.
I think they really took him and just ran. And I think he's gonna be a lot of people's favorites. And I will say, talking about giving Cyclops a good writer, some writer was like, I know the reason why his red sunglasses and his visor, ruby quartz, he can bring the optic beams out of any ruby quartz. So there's just a scene of him standing in a city and they're shooting out of every single traffic light, and I think it's the dumbest thing ever, and I think that writer should get chlamydia.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I've never read that story.
So dumb.
Man, I'm sure that's very common.
And I kind of liked how he was just so hell bent on not being like a deadbeat dad.
Right?
His dad, oh man, they're trying to make him beat the stereotype. He's a mutant. His daddy left him. He's not gonna do that to his mutant son because
and then he did. And then he did.
But he gave him up for a better life, though. He needed it. He had to. He just didn't want to.
Yeah, he just didn't want to.
But yeah, son, I'll be back. I'm going out to grab some smokes. 3,500 years in the future.
There are definitely a lot of parallels with marginalized persons and the mutants and all the things they have to go through. And it's interesting because when these characters go through hardships, it's not the same as sort of Peter Parker or even Iron Man. When they have these issues that go wrong in their lives, it just it's very singular. But the X-Men, because it's a race of people, it seems so vast. The Genosha event is just heartbreaking because it's a genocide. So it's crazy when you see that ripple effect throughout throughout the show. Sorry, I was just like noticing some chat.
And the part right that makes that even more interesting is then everyone on Earth is like, well, they shouldn't have been flaunting it. Like, oh, I mean, like, yeah, that's bad, but at the same time, like, we shouldn't help them. Like, it really showed how, like, oh, I want people to know I feel bad and think they deserve better, but I'm not going to do anything to make sure they deserve better.
Yeah. And I will. Sorry. Ophelia says in the comments, I just hated that ugly ass mohawk they gave Storm. I really dug the mohawk from Storm. I did think that it was very weird that when she got her powers back, she just like got a whole new like lace front wig that just completely went over the mohawk. Like I thought that was strange.
Clearly, you don't understand how lightning works.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not a meteorologist. I don't know how these things work.
Control the weather, you can control your hair.
Mind your hair and weather your mind. Yeah, I that was the only thing that I kind of bumped up against. But as far as the question who had the best glow up, I do feel like damn, who did I think earlier? Damn, I had it on the tip of my tongue.
Alex, is it the obvious one?
Yeah, that's no. Who would be the obvious one?
Jubilee.
Oh no, fuck that.
Thank God.
My least favorite was Jubilee's episode. I did like that, you know.
I just liked it for Mojo because we were talking about before that episode aired of like who I wanted to see as a villain to come out, and I was like, I kind of want to see Mojo. Mojo was one of my favorite villains, but they didn't bring out his sexy ass assistant.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And even though it was a filler episode and my least favorite episode of the season, it was still like fun. And if they're going to have a filler episode, like I'm glad that they use Mojo, who's a super fun character. And even though he didn't get a whole lot of shine in this season, my glow up character is Nightcrawler, because he got like he didn't really show up at all in the last series. Like he showed up very sparsely. So I really, really liked how they used him in this. He still wasn't around a lot, but he got a really cool action sequence with his swords fighting back to back with Wolverine. Has a really touching eulogy. He
used his tail to swing a sword. How do you not love that?
Right, that is kind of funny.
I mean, God.
He practiced that shit.
He practices that.
Into never said in the chat that Alex just hates women. That's true.
Facts.
I guess guys, let us know in the chat who your favorite glow up character was from this season. Like, who was your favorite? I've heard a lot of people say that Bishop could have gotten a little bit more play.
Mm-hmm.
Into never says in the chat, Cyclops also got a huge glow up as well. Yeah, okay, so you and producer T on the same level on there. But yeah, guys, let us know in the chat who's your favorite. Before we get out of here, Remy, we want to let the people know where they can find you on the interwebs.
Oh, of course. You can always try and Skype me at Don Cheadle's Driveway Don Cheadle's Driveway at littlediggy2.com. It's because
of the hackers.
Yeah. You can try and find Jeff Madel on Facebook at MadelJeff on Instagram, but let's be honest, the easiest place to find me is Monday nights here on YouTube.
That is true. He is usually here. We force him to come and talk about nerd stuff.
They don't give me my snacks if I don't show up.
He loves his snacks, people. And if you love Jeff, you gotta tune in. Producer T, where can the people find you on the interwebs?
On Instagram at TPensCo, where if you like Charles and Xavier and Morph and a lot of these characters, almost all of them, I'm going to say they all fit into that group right there. So go ahead and get your pins and you can identify just like them. Pride is next month. Get them ready. Show your pride.
Coming soon.
Know that the gay dollar is the strongest dollar by supporting me.
That is true. I did read that on AP the other day.
I was looking into investing, and everyone suggested the Galler, so that's true. Yeah,
everyone's suggesting the Galler. Just to check out some more comments here in the chat. Fifth Banthas said Bishop needs a lot more play, and I think he will be a big part of season 2. Yeah, it does seem like that cliffhanger has Bishop playing a bigger role later on. Into Never said Bishop will be a huge in season 2 for sure. Morgan. Poll results, Alex. Oh man, how do I see the poll results?
I got them pulled up, but you can also just go down 2 more comments.
Okay. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. We'll just move on down.
Do movie trailers suck?
Wait, what?
Never mind. I'll ask you again in a second.
Okay. Ophelia says definitely need them to bring Bishop up from the back of the bus.
All right. No, okay, I was just saying the poll question: do movie trailers suck?
83% say yes. Okay, yeah, that's the poll results there, and the poll results for this one is which vote? Which poll?
The same. It's the same.
So
it's 83% yes, 17% no.
Okay, gotcha. Was there another? I feel like there was another poll that was going on. Was there not?
I saw no.
Okay, for some reason I thought he said another one. All right, well, guys, thank you so much for voting. We got the results in. Thank you guys so much for watching the Drunk Banthas podcast, or thank you for listening wherever you listen to the podcast. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Likewise, Letterboxd, all the internet things at the Drunk Banthas. Until next time, stay safe, my little guzzling lovers, and may the force be with you.
Peace.